Greetings, children, it's me, Captain Disillusion. Here's a fun trick you can try at home. Time travel to the 1920s and get a silk handkerchief. Then stuff it into your hand like this, and poof, it's gone. As you probably know, the secret is a fake thumb tip, which serves as misdirection for the tiny, disposable microsingularity generator which consumes the handkerchief and then itself. So you finish clean. Pretty simple stuff, really. But with practice, you'll be ready for more complex illusions, such as this. YouTuber Dan D'Entremont shows us an amazing water trick, which, since its appearance 4 long years ago, has gathered over 13 million views and never been debunked. Did you know that if you twist an upside-down glass of water just right, you can lift it and the water will stay in the shape of the glass, quivering in a delicately balanced spin until the slightest disturbance collapses it? Wow. Now I know the stunt in this video looks enticingly doable, but trust me, you don't need to waste water, towels, or your time trying it.
That's terrible advice.
Oh man.
If at first you don't succeed, try again. Gandhi.
Holly, this is odd. I'm seeing you and yet I'm not currently crawling back on my hands and knees.
Let's not dwell on the past, Dee. That's not who I am anymore. After our breakup,
We were never together.
I did some soul searching and I found the souls, I put them back, I got really annoyed and actually unleashed an illness on the infants of Southern Gantwar. It was gross, and I felt bad, but then I thought, I'm only as bad as I allow myself to think I am, you know?
You killed starving babies?
And I choose to be positive. I'm a positivist.
What does that entail?
Not ignoring possibilities, Dee. We don't know everything. Maybe ear candling works. Maybe there's a way to make a guy who completely rejected a beautiful deity love her again through a series of incantations.
I feel I'm qualified to say that no.
And just maybe, water has memory. And you shouldn't dismiss the possibility that this trick could be done. Don't fill these poor kids' minds with doubt. Anything is possible. Steve Jobs.
Then how about a challenge? If you can reproduce the amazing water trick here in the real world, I'll give you 1 million dates with me.
Oh, I'm above such. Really? I mean, that's only 2,740 years of dates, but okay. Let's do this.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first and last annual Million Date Challenge. Holly is going to attempt to recreate the amazing water trick. Are you ready?
I predated the universe ready.
Very well, please begin.
Poor cynical Dee, your mind is closed off to so much. Water, like your deeply buried feelings for me, is infinitely complex. I mean, it's already documented that it can be walked on, parted, and turned into wine, so who's to say it can't hold the shape of a glass for a few seconds when spun just right? Frankly, I don't want to live in a world where something is impossible. Oprah Winfrey.
It doesn't seem to have worked. Well, thank you for joining us at the first and last annual Are you crying? There's no crying in skepticism.
I just really believed I could do it. I guess not everything is possible.
Welcome to reality. Would you like to know how the trick was really done?
Yeah.
This Dan is a clever guy. First, he mentally primed us to expect something plausible by pretending his video is just a fun tutorial and starting with a stunt that looks impressive but really can be done. And once our guard was down, he unleashed a visual effect which starts simply but becomes extremely convincing once this happens. Think about it. Would you have been as impressed if the video ended here, before the camera is picked up and moved?
Not really. If the camera doesn't move, that's like photoshopping a still picture or doing an old-timey movie effect.
Exactly. He could have just added some shimmering distortion in the shape of a glass and called it a day, and that might have looked convincing in the times of Georges Méliès, but today it could be done by even the most overrated, crowd-pandering amateur visual effects artist in the world.
This is how I eat Rice Krispies.
This is how I punch people. The uninterrupted handheld camera move is what sells the whole thing. We see the water perfectly anchored to the counter in changing perspective, interacting with the light and refracting the background. There's no easy way to fake that.
So how'd he do it?
Let me introduce you to the world of 3D motion tracking. See, when the camera moves like this, it's called a nodal pan. It's not really moving at all, it's just panning and tilting across a two-dimensional view. It's pretty easy to track this kind of motion and add fake items into the scene. But when the camera actually is changing position, perspective shifts and it becomes exponentially more complicated to track. You have to know the details of the camera and the lens, track many points in the image, and then put it all together through some complicated math to calculate a virtual recreation of the camera move in 3D. Once you have that, you can do just about anything. Dan lifted an empty glass and filmed the shot with nothing on the counter, except perhaps a few well-placed markers, which were later digitally removed. He tracked the shot and recreated the camera move in the 3D animation software of his choice. There, he modeled and textured the water object and, most likely, part of the counter surface, matched the lighting of the scene and rendered the animation with the real shot projected as a background. This made it possible for the water to reflect and refract the room in a realistic-looking manner. And if that sounds too sophisticated, just take a look at the other videos on the guy's YouTube channel or his IMDb credits. He does some pretty impressive 3D animation. I'm saying that and I'm super picky. Seriously, I nitpick everything. Speaking of which, toward the end of the shot, he had to do some manual 2D adjustments to the water and you can see it wobble slightly. The ending is a simple transition to a separately filmed moment when he spilled real water onto the counter from off-screen. It's masked by a few frames of the CG water collapsing, which, if you look closely, is a pretty basic 2D composite of a still image of the water simply scrolling down. Do you understand now?
I understand. Of course. I was facing south. That's the problem. Water spins in the opposite direction on the southern hemisphere, so that must have interfered with my twisting motion. Otherwise, it totally would have worked. Yes!
No, come on!
Thanks for helping me figure it out, Dee. I'm ready for my dates now.
But you didn't beat the challenge.
The challenge was biased.
How is it biased? We agreed on the rules and you failed.
Well, you... You know what? I'm fine. I'm refocusing, I'm finding my center, everything's great.
Why can't you just see things the way they are? It's so much easier.
I'm going now. Enjoy boringly explaining reality to your sad little friends. I'll be busy studying law. The law of attraction. And one day the universe will guide you where you belong. On my face! Holly out!
Well, I tried. But now I'm afraid it's time for me to go, kids. A policymaker in Australia is actually on the brink of changing her mind about something. Remember, love with your heart, use your head for everything else, and be excellent to each other. Captain Disillusion!